Hello everyone, let's play Blitz games today. Send me challenges if you want to play and let's start today's first game. Let's get some activation and try to attack here. Okay, after trade my pawn will be hanged, so let's protect it with a rook. And also we can force him to take. Or he has to go back, that also could be moved there. I think we can force him to go knight d5 and then c4 can be a move. To kick the knight from here and force him to go back. And then, what's the idea? Let's go knight to d4 because if he takes with a queen, that's open check and he will lose that. So also this d6 is very weak, I will try to jump there. We have very good knight here. And we will try to bring the rook in the game and try to take some advantage from here because his position isn't really on king's side, so that will be hard to defend. Now h6 is hanging, and then I will try to bring my queen in the game. Well, he's sacrificing the pawn here. Let's take and then with the rook, right? He's opening this f file, so now he can get some advantage from it. Because this g7 is protected, also he can bring the rook. Well, let's pin this. His knight is under attack, but he can't defend that, right? He could also try to attack somehow and trade pieces here, but that's not easy, that seems. Okay, that was hanging, so let's take. And now, let's check and take his rook. Even the knight is hanged. Okay, we are up rook here. Also that is hanging too, and that's checkmate, right? Well, very nice played. Let's start another game here. Well, let's start to open d4 this time. Maybe Catalan defense, yes. I will try to do that. We don't have to take the pawn on d5, that will get some advantage for him. So let's try to just bring the pieces into the game, and the idea is that this pawn isn't guarding this e4 square, so I will try to bring the rook and then e4, and if he misses this e4, he will bring his bishop back, and also e5 would be a fork, but now he can go back. That won't be fork there. e5, knight d5, I don't like this, so we can pin the knight, yes? e5 is possible, but he has only one move that can defend this position, that's h6. Okay, he plays it. What if I take? Yeah, take and e5, because before e5 he could jump d5 with his knight, but now he can't. c4 is hanging, he took with a pawn and he's trying to bring the rook and attack on it. Okay, b5 is actually was a move here. I will try d5 and take some advantage on the center, because he's king on the middle, and that's not even good move. That's a short castle, because he took with a g-pawn to open this g-file and attack with his rook. That was the idea, to double his pawns, and he didn't took with a queen. So let's break this center. I will try to open the rook, and also his queen side is destroyed with b5. Like, I have a huge attack on it, so even if he castle like that, that also can't be really good there. So let's see what move he's gonna play. Even if he goes some pawns forward, I will take anyway. And that's actually opening the position, yes? Let's take. Let's go rook d1 first. That's attacking on his queen. If he takes with a knight, I will take with a bishop, and his queen and bishop will be hanged, so he will lose material there. And then I think I can take the knight, or... Okay, now he's sacrificing the queen because he will take some materials there. Take the bishop. That can't be good for him, for me. Let's not take that. Because if I take, that would be fork. He thought about that, but now his position is a little bit worse, because he has queen. I have queen, and he has bishop, rook, and pawn here. That's still tricky, but I think queen in endgame is very powerful than other pieces here. f6 is hang, and b5. And now after queen f6, I have threats, so he can take the knight. Okay, he castled. Let's bring the knight. This pawn is hanging, so we will try to mate here. Queen h6 to get out of this pin, and knight h5, g7 will be very weak. Maybe bishop d4 could be moved there. Let's attack on his rook. If he moves his rook, f7 will be hanged, so queen king g8 or king g7 can protect that. He probably missed this, right? Because of for time pressure, the bishop is hanging. The rook, the pawn, everything is hanging. Okay, let's take like this. We don't have to sacrifice the knight for this. Let's still defend. Okay, that's win for me. Let's play another here. Queen c7 also defending this from trading. Knight e4, and after this trade I will also try to go f5 and create a good pawn chain here. And also I'm trying to use these white square weaknesses and bring these pieces into the game. I can bring my bishop to active square like this, yes, because that's the thing. If he takes the bishop, rook is hanging. But also I can take, right? Let's take because his pawn structure is terrible. And also this is hang. Yes, because c5 and he take my bishop, I will take the rook. Let's go c5 anywhere because the rook is protected. I can't take with a check how I said. I don't have to take this. Because if I take, he will undouble his pawn and he will have this passed pawn there. So let's do this. Also, rook g6 is a move. Can he protect this c4 pawn somehow or not? Queen e2, yes. Rook b1, can I trade the queen or not? Okay, I have to now. But that's not very bad, you know? This position is a little bit hard. Let's sacrifice the pawn on g5 to open this bishop and create some attacking plans. That's very important to open this position when you have rooks. This bishop is still defended, so I will try to take the queen on d2. Okay, that's almost made. Let's be sure he hasn't mad checks. Okay, that's still defended. And that will be made. Rook on g2. Well, Very nice. We have Scandinavian defense here. Okay, and that's a fork. Or not. If I take bishop b4, I will lose my queen. Okay, another pin. Let's get the bishop on d2. And because he will try bishop f4 and somehow take the bishop on e2 with a pin. Let's bring the queen on c1. Also c4, c5 is a move. Try to attack on his position. Let's take this first. If I bring this on h3, he won't escape. He will be happy betrayed and this h5 will be open, but I won't do that. Okay, let's trade some pieces here. Let's bring the queen in this active square, also defend the knight and attack on this pawn. Let's see if it meets me somehow. Okay, because my position is a little bit open here, I will trade the queens. He has two knights against the rook, but because we have open files here, I will try to attack on it. Like rook g1 won't work because g6, and that will be good pawn chain. I can't try to use it somehow and go forward. Okay, let's attack like this. c2 is hang. Okay, if he takes the pawn, rook a1, yes, that should be pin. And because he blocked his rook, let's bring this pawn forward. I will try b4. If he takes, d4 will be hang. Okay, that's already hang. Maybe he thought that that's not with a check and he could take the pawn on f3 and fork, yes. Okay, the knights are still very nice position here, because that's very tricky actually. This f3 was hanging and okay, this pawn is hanging too. If you try to defend somehow these pawns, that should be mistake, I think. You would be down a full fork. That's why you need to be careful. Okay, this a5 is under attack. Let's bring another rook into the game. b6 is hang. Like all his knights can jump and defend that. I will try b4 and open this a file, because here open is e file and c file. Like c file was protected. Okay, now it's not, but I can jump here. So let's bring another open file. That should be good idea for my rooks. Let's take with a pawn, because if I take with a rook and attack this pawn on b6, he will gonna protect it with a knight, and my rook will be disactive here. I will try to take this pawn on b4, sorry, b6. The rook is defended, and if he takes the rook, another rook is hanging. Let's push it forward. I think I will lose that pawn here, but anyway, that's under attack. I will force him to bring his pieces here. Okay, that's not hanging. Let's take f7. I don't need to take because that would be fork on f4. I think he should try to trick me. Okay, really good. Can I win this with time pressure? Okay, that's a check and timeout, yes? Let's get this queen on b6, because if he takes the knight, I won't take. Just b2 and his rook will be under attack there. c4, and he still can take. He has to bring his bishop back, because if he takes the knight, his queen will be under attack and his bishop too. So the only move, bishop e2. He probably dismissed that. And I will go bishop f5. And now my pieces are very well active here. So I have this huge attack. Let's bring another rook, that's also a pin. I think that's time to bring my rook on g6. Yes. I could even take, but that's no need. Because he maybe tried to activate that. Let's go back, we will take with a pawn and c4 will be hang after that. But if he takes, I will sacrifice the bishop on g4, and after this trade he will lose his bishop, bishop g3. Maybe he will just lose a pawn there. Okay, let's try it. Bishop g3 is the move after this trade. Take will be really nice move for him, because that bishop will protect that really bad squares. Let's check and win some tempo. Let's bring the knight on a5. His bishop is under attack, which is also opening queen g6 move for me. Okay, now I don't have to take, or I have, because my rook is under attack. Let's bring queen f6, because if he takes the rook, queen f3 is the move, and king d2, I will take the bishop with a check. King c2, queen d3. Let's attack on his bishop, because if he takes the rook, or with a knight, I don't know. I will take with a check and bishop will be hang. Now I will take with a queen and I will force to trade, but I don't like that trade. Can I do another move? I'm not sure. Okay, let's not hang this f7 square. If you bring the rook into the game, I will take the bishop. And then maybe 3 yes. But no, that's one fork. Okay, let's get this back. To also defend this pawn. Okay, my time has dropped. No problem, let's play another game. Sicilian defense here. French variation, right? Let's trade and get these pieces into the center. Try to bring d5, and then if I trade, I will activate my bishop on this diagonal. Okay, that's still good. Let's bring this on e6 to defend from check. If his knight was in f3, just he would try jump and create some threats here. Queen to the right. Let's bring the knight on e4. After f3, I will check on c5, but that's not happen. Let's castle here. And rook a8 right. That should be pinned. Let's trade first, because that was hanging. Let's bring this another rook, because a8 rook, maybe I have to bring this on b file and attack on it, right? Okay, that's not a pin, but let's put some pressure, so activate figures there. The pawn is hang. Now I have bishop c4 that will attack on his rook. Now let's force him to trade. Okay, he's not taking, but that's mate, right? Let's put more pressure on the knight. Bishop a3, queen b6 is a move. Okay, he chooses to trade. Knight e7 or not? Because knight f6, just have a kick. Is if this pawn wasn't guarding that square, I will jump on d5 after that, but now that can't happen, so let's trade here. And with a knight, right? Because that was in a dissective square there. That's pawn isolated, so let's bring it in the center. Now that's passed pawn, and let's see, and if pawns weren't dead, we'll try to trade with that pawn, and now I can somehow use this passed pawn, right? Okay, he traded, and now he's up a pawn. But he's king in the middle, so I would like to check him on e7. Now I can't do that, so I think I have enough time for do that. Yes, because he can't castle. Maybe queen e6, bishop e3. I don't know. Even I can't castle now, so I think rook c8 can be a move. That's still no threat. Let's play e4. Okay, we have French defense. e5 is a move, or I can simply defend that. Let's try it here. Okay, I don't have to take, but let's defend. If he takes with a queen after all this trade, he will lose that. So why he is not doing that? That's still okay, yes? Let's defend this pawn anyway. And after this trade, okay, let's do that. We are winning the knight or h7, right? He has to sacrifice the knight on c6. Let's bring it forward. Also, f4 maybe, I don't know. What should I play here? f3 maybe to block this bishop. Also, how can I activate this bishop? Maybe h6 and force him to trade. So he won't take this knight. But what if take? Why he gives this pawn and very good bishop here, which could create some threats there. He has these open files, but that's very well protected by these pawns. Let's trade and bring the rook, yes? Because this h7 is a little bit weak and he will, if he wants to defend, just he has to bring the rook. So that will deactivate the rook, so let's do that, right? If he takes the pawn, or I think he don't want to take, okay, I was saying about that. Let's bring this c2, maybe b3 in the future. Okay, that's not a threat. So maybe I need to think about queen a3, because that will be correct checkmate. I haven't h3 or g3 move here. If f3, I will lose that bishop, right? How can I protect this position? Let's go f4, because f3 would defend, wouldn't defend that pawn. And he will jump with a rook, right? Rook b8 and try to mate, yes. What is he trying? Rook b8, I think only move if he don't want to draw. Okay, just one move. I was even up a figure there. Very bad. Vienna gambit, yes. Let's bring another pawn. That will be trade, so let's attack castle. Maybe after that time I will take the pawn. Okay, now we have really good f5 for my figures. So that's made. Very good. Okay, let's play alien gambit here. But he's not taking. That's not what I expected. He's trying to go e5, right? This knight maneuver is for that. Okay, that straight should be okay. But if he takes with a pawn, that's e5 and g5 square will be protected. Now I opening this g5 for me. Let's bring this on h3 because he went on h8. And how can I defend this g6 pawn after I will try to take? Okay, really good move. This d4 is undefended, but if he takes, I will sacrifice that, and his bishop will be open after that. Let's take this pawn, because his bishop will be after that. Another threat here. We couldn't just take that. Now his knight would be hang. Because it's not, I am also pressuring this. Knight h6 can be moved. Okay, he missed it. Okay, very well. Because now we protected it at that c5, let's bring the pieces there. So this trade can happen. Okay, is this hang or not? Not, because his bishop will be hang. So let's take it first and castle, right? I will kick the knight and force to go back here. This move isn't helping him because he lost tempo there. Let's play queen c7 or not, because knight b5 can jump. If we trade, rook will be open. And even before his hang. Queen b3 can be moved, not queen c2, because I will take a pawn and defend the knight. And even he can't attack and take my knight, because for pin bishop b2, just knight a2. I would try to use this check to win the queen, but I can't. He will take with a queen, right? Everything is protected, so knight d4, the bishop is protected. He is threatening mate, so let's go back. We have trade here. Okay, hello bro. After this game, find me before I will finish that. And some challenge, let's play. Let's go back to kick the queen. Is this a move? Not yes. So let's just get some development here. Yes, I will try to bring this queen and rook in c-file and attack here. Even I can try to go d4 because that will open my figures there. Like the rook and the queen and bishop, why not? If I take, that should be mate, so d5, yes. He can take the knight first, that's with a check, so I can take the queen, but after this trade I will try to create something. Maybe he will lose a bishop, you know? Because even this trade will happen, and he will take the pawn. He will run the queen because he won't lose a queen. Queen b3, I will take the bishop, and after this trade I will mate him from d1. Let's see if it gonna work or not. Okay, I did it. Very good memorization, I think, yes? Okay, I'm sending you a challenge, Limon Minecraft. Let's just find you. Okay, 10 minutes, right? Okay, I sent. Accept and let's play this. Let's start with Sicilian defense here. And even a6 is a move, you know. Because when you are playing Sicilian, that's very important to protect this b5. Because the knight can jump and he has overprotection over here. So even if this e6 wasn't protected, they are trying to jump over here. And also this c7, they are creating some threats there. So that's why you need to protect. d5 is a move, I don't have to protect this pawn on d4 because he will take it anyway. He will create some pressure on it. Okay, let's jump the knight and win some tempo from here. Because that's attacking the queen. Okay, he goes back. Let's bring kingside pieces into the game and castle, right? Okay, now my bishop is active, so I can try to go bishop, queen b6 and try to attack on this f2. Knight f6, I will just bring the pawn on e5 and I will kick my knight. And also I couldn't go back at that time. So let's don't let him to kick my pieces. d5, just I will lose the pawn there. If f5, but if he not to take and play e5, he will just take some advantage from this squares, and in the future d5 won't work, yes? Okay, just h6, and his knight can't do something here. So that's why that's a little bit inaccuracy, because you are losing a tempo. Now, before that, this move was yours, so that means that you are not moving. Just you are giving a move for me. That's why that's mistake. With bishop back, d5 can happen, right? d5, I will just open his bishop, but even if I will be open, so let's try to bring that. Okay, really good move. Let's play d5 because he has learned so much attacking pieces on it, and that's why I kicked the bishop to go d5. So now I have that. If he takes en passant, like I will take with the bishop, right? Or with the queen can't be mistake. That will activate the queen, but after if he try to attack on this bishop, just I don't know, that should be okay. If I take the knight, queen h5, that should be made. Can I protect? f5 or even knight f5, right? 5 takes, that won't happen. And then knight g6, right? Because if knight f5, g4, and he will kick the knight, which is protecting the that's from bishop. Also, he can take 2 pawns here, because this g5 is hanging, and then he can take the knight. He will be just 2 pawns against the figure. f6. After this trade, I will lose the knight with a check and be mate, so let's not do that. Because we can't protect, let's attack. And if bishop take, if I will be hang after that, because we are over pressuring over this pawn, we have 2 attackers, he can't defend. Only move that he maybe could defend, f4, but that's pinned. That's gonna drop. Okay, that's gonna drop anyway. And the best move could be actually if bishop takes on g6, because after that he will take that pawn. Now he can't. Maybe he can take this, why not? But this pawn he can't take. And even this pawn mr7 is protecting this e6 square. Also this e6 will be very weak. Okay, he took the rook, but if I take the knight, that should be mate, so maybe he don't thought that I can take it with a queen. Now that's okay, right? If f6, just that will be pin, he can't move the bishop. But f6, queen takes g6, right? If I take the bishop, that will be trade. Okay, why he's trying to go b4? Because if I take, this f4 can be free. f4, if I take the knight, that should be a mistake. I think like that. f4 I will take the knight, and f5 won't work, he will lose the rook. Okay, another one I can take, that queen was hanged. But nice vision, he thought that I can take, right? And that should be made. Okay, now that's losing. He thought that that will be open attack, and if I take, that will be made. Okay, let's play a rematch with him. Let's open with e4 this time. Maybe we can try to play Varna Gambit. Okay, I'm not sure you know this. So you need to learn this because your opponents can play Varna Gambit and make some trouble for you. Okay, very nice d5 move, because if they are trading d4 and I have very nice center on it, so opponent should not let him do that. After he will take the knight, and he's not taking, but that should be the best move here, because now he is down the knight. The queen is under attack, c7 is unprotected. Queen d8 will be only move. That's backward move, so that won't give him something. Let's attack on it to defend the knight. If he takes the pawn, I have to take or not? Okay, let's go back. If he not takes, maybe I don't need to take. Or even, just after this trade, I will kick the knight, and I will bring my pawn on active square. That will attack on his knight, and he will lose a tempo here. And then I will try to bring the bishop, because this d4 move, even activating the bishop on c1. Okay, very good move. I will lose a pawn here, right? This can be a little bit good, because knight f3 after this trade d4 will be hang, and that's still okay. I can castle, I'm up a figure. I don't need to do some risky moves. If I take with a queen, let's think about that. Can I take the knight for this pin? I think not. Let's not play risky. We are up. Well, I back. Now let's castle, and my rook is hitting this pawn on f7, which is very weak. And as soon as possible he needs to castle, which he isn't doing. After this trade, he will activate his bishop, which can be the best move, really. Because after that he will just castle, yes, and he will activate two figures and then castle. That will win a tempo, so let's not let him do that. If my knight was on c3, queen f3 can be huge move, because somehow he can't defend it, right? That will be hard. And that's a little bit even tricky, because queen e7, I will just bring this rook on e1, and that should be okay for me. Okay, now, because this bishop isn't protecting this pawn on c5, let's take, and he can't jump with a check and take some advantage from it. Now I'm up a knight, so I can trade these pieces easily, and that's also hang, right? I'm not sure why he sacrificed that. bishop is hanging. Well, and now knight. Where can I jump? Maybe f4, because now bishop b2 can be a move. I will have this nice diagonal. Bishop b2 and try to connect the rooks. Okay. That's a little bit can be tricky, because this c file is open. I will try to even sacrifice the pawn here and just open this diagonal and attack on it. Okay, and that's a pin. f5 won't work. That's the only way he could try to do that. Okay, he can't protect that, and maybe I can try to bring the rook on d6. That should be good, right? That should be pin if he takes after this trade. If I were black, I will just bring that rook and take with the rook, yes. Okay, let's send blitz challenge for him. Let's bring the knight this time. And also I will try to play. Okay, let's take first and think about that. g6 and bishop g7 can be moved, right? Like modern defense. Or if I played Sicilian, that's where it looks like old Sicilian variation, you know? Now I'm attacking on his knight. And now I can jump this knight on f6, because d5, just knight d5. We can trade actually. I will have a very good central protection here. And let's trade. And I can even bring my bishop on a6, but he will have really good protection in that square. But how can I get some advantage from there? Rook a8. I will try to pressure this pawn, and even f4 won't work, because d6, and that should I should take that, right? Like here, d6 you can't take. I'm just pressuring. Do I? No, that's not hanging, but not sure. Let's bring the bishop out, because maybe I can try to take this pawn and play f6, but bishop c7, that will attack on his rook, on my queen, sorry. And if I take the queen, he will take my e and rook trade. I will take the bishop from there, right? Okay, that's maybe a little bit unclear, but let's try this, you will see. Maybe he don't need to take the pawn, yes. But anyway, I have really good pawn structure there. Queen b6, just, and b2 will be hang. Take, I will be up a bishop, but like that. I will be up a rook, right? Because that's not exchange. Just I will take another bishop here. Okay, really good. Let's play English Gambit here. Let's see how we can respond. This is very good opening this English Gambit that looks like Sicilian defense as white pieces. That's also working. Knight f6 can be a really good move because that's a kick. e4 can be a move, right? Okay, let's break the knight, but there isn't a really good square that I can jump with my bishop, even g3, bishop g2. I don't think that's gonna work. Let's protect this g4 square, because if I bring my bishop on e3 to go d4 to open this bishop, the knight can jump here and try to take that bishop, which will protect this d4 square. So now I can't go d4 because e4 will be hanged. That's a little bit hard to attack like that, but I'm not sure. d4, just d4, knight takes d5. That can't be pin, right? I thought I can even take the figure here, but the bad thing is if my pawn drops, no one will guard these two figures. That's why I don't need to do that. Am I need to castle or not? If he brings the rook in that fight, I think he can bring some trouble with him. So I'm not sure. My king will be safe on king's side. But I don't know. I want to talk over here because my pieces is doing great job there. If knight h5, I will take, then that will be hang, yes. But after knight h5, if he takes with the knight, this d3 will be hang. After I will take with a queen, yes. h5, g6 is a move. Why not h6? Because after h6 he will bring the pawn on g6, and that will be very bad, I will say. I can't trade, and that will be just block in this position, and I can't just create a tag on it. That's why that shouldn't be really good. Now if g6, I will lose a pawn there, right? So I take the knight, g6. I'm still not sure. He is trying to get this d3 square, so let's defend. If the rook can, if the rook jump on d8, d4, and he can take, right? But I will try to go g6 here. Let's think if g6, that should be trade, but what if I take the knight? Let's not hang this c3 square, and maybe we need to go g6 and take, right? Okay, but why? Oh, my rook was hanging, right? I thought that I will mate, and I didn't saw any moves that can protect my position. Didn't even try to defend it. d6, right? That's Najdorf Sicilian. Even if I can happen. Can I take? I will bring the rook on c5 because that's open for me and not for him. That's why you need to be careful about that. Bishop a6. My pawns will be doubled, but after this trade, d5 can be moved and he has to take. If not, I will take his pawn, and he can try to even defend, but if he defends, I don't do that. Okay, see, very good move. He's attacking with tempo. If I not take, just I will lose a pawn there. I can't defend, so I have to take or not. Okay, knight c6 is the only move I will say, because take will be mistake. If that's not helping you, that will help opponent. Always remember that. What? That's mouse click or not? You know, let's play another game here. Just I don't know why he sacrificed the queen. Can we play Catalan defense here? Okay, he's responding with England Gambit. And f6. That's weakening his position. That's, I don't think, bad opening. Like to also sacrifice this pawn on f6. But you are low rated, that can be a little bit hard for you to defend that, you know? Now I have tricky move. Do you see it? Okay, he didn't, so his bishop will come here, because why I said that f6 is a little bit aggressive, and that's also tricky. You don't have to play openings like f6 or even f5 Danish gambit, because your king will be very safe, because opponent will try anytime to check and take something, and you also, if you need if you know that you can see all the checks, you need to be 1700. fall like that, even they are doing some blunders there. Just you need to follow all that checks and be sure that you are not losing material there. Okay, and the knight was hang. I'm up 7 points, right? Okay, let's go c5 and don't know what's the move here. G7, bishop G7 one more time. And let's play it. D6 and knight C6, right? Because I will have this really good. If I went d4 overprotected squares. Okay, he's losing a pawn here. If he takes with a knight, he will lose the knight. But knight e2 is a move. Just e5 is protecting this, that's all. But there is only normal move, he can respond. Okay, he's trying to activate the knight, which is a really good idea, because if I not take, my pawns will be double here. Let's trade, and what's the move? I would like to play bishop e6 and open this file, f5. But when you are playing g6, that's a little bit risky to open this, because all that king side will be open. I don't need to take, because after this, no, he will take with a pawn and just kick that knight, which I don't like. I am taking with a bishop because here that protecting very much squares, but that's not doing something. But on c6, that's attacking and forcing him moves. That's why I will bring this rook on c8. Or rook e8. Rook e8, and then I will try to trade something here. I can take with a bishop, right? See, he's forcing me some moves. I didn't like to take, but now I have to. Because now I want to bring my queen on b6. This pawn was hang, but after rook b1. Okay, I did that because I am taking second pawn there. Okay, why is he doing this? g5 is hang. Well, let's play one more game with him. d4 is a move here. Let's see how he can respond. Okay, he probably disconnected. Sent me challenge. e6, right, this time. And knight c6. Okay, let's be sure d5 is protected all the time, because that will kick the knight. So also his knight is doing great job here. Maybe he will try to some tactics there, so let's trade this as soon as possible. If I trade the knights, this pawn will be protected, so let's take that first. Even I did mistake. Not sure if I take. That should be check and take my queen. I can't see that. Anyway, let's... Okay. Let's not try it, because his bishops are doing great job in my king side. Let's just castle. And I'm even afraid of to castle here, because his figures are so active here. Okay, my queen just lost here. I have bishop and rook against his queen, so that's one can't be bad for me, because his bishops and these bishops were doing great job here. So I'm a little bit even happy to happen like that. Let's bring this bishop on c6, right? Now b7 is hanging, but I will bring the rook in b8, and if he runs his queen, that b2 will be hanged. So that's why that's okay to bring this bishop on c6 and let him to take that. Okay, he don't take, he played very good actually here. So now let's go back and double my rooks. I will try to bring this d5 and then creating some attacking plans here. I'm happy to see he blocks with f3 pawn his queen, because now that's not defending this d1 square. That's a tank on the queen, and that's also tempo for me. I'm winning a tempo here, he's losing a move, and I have enough time to bring another rook on d8 and try to use that file. That can be even mate threat, you know. Rook d8, just b2, b3 won't work, that will be made anyway. I think the only move, rook back, which is probably deactivating that rook a little bit. And even c3 can be a move, but that's a little bit tricky, you know, because check and bishop a4 maybe, don't know, to attack on that pieces. Okay, that's what I say, that's a little bit tricky here. Because my bishop was very active on there. Let's play Beard's opening here with f4. I don't know I need to take or not. Let's wait until he will take. Okay, he's pressuring, but also I don't know how that's right to bring this bishop on d6, which is blocking this d7 pawn. So now that's under attack, you can take that, why not? If he takes now, just d5, and that will be forked. If queen e7, I can take because of pin, but queen e2, I will just get out of that pin and take one of the figures there. Okay, he chooses to take. I think that's okay. Queen e7, that will be just pin. Okay, but queen e2, I will get out of that, right? This pawn is hanging down, so I'm defending the knight. I have enough time to take that, right? Now let's go back, maybe rook e8, and he will try to create some plans here. That also should work here. I don't think he would take the knight, but that's still okay. Now b7 was hang. Okay, that's also a protective move. I can take the knight and play bishop g5. I will attack on this with this pin, and after this trade, his king side will be destroyed. His pawns will be double after that. Now, because I can't take, let's just pin this. h6. Again, g5 is a move, but that's already a little bit aggressive. Just my bishop can do great job here too. That's not important to be in that file. Let's bring the knight, and now that's under attack, he can take, that will be pin. So I could even sacrifice the bishop and take 3 pawn because I sacrificed that. His king side would be very bad, I think, after that. Let's take with a bishop, right? Because that was under attack. He could take that if I took with a knight, but that's still okay. If I go back, just he will take material there, right? If he takes with the knight, knight on d4 will be hanged. He takes another right, and my bishop will be under attack. I will just take with a bishop. I could even take with a pawn. Anyway, that bishop will be defended there. I will try queen get out and attack on this f7. f3 can be moved, but the difference is that queen h5 is also attacking this pawn on h6, which now is defended. But after rook f6, I will take that for sure. Rook f6 I will take with a rook, because if I take with a queen, that will be a block for my bishop, so that won't hit that squares. That's why I thought that I can take even with a rook here. But now I need to take with a check, and that's also going to be mate, right? Okay, let's see how beautiful is my mate. Okay, very bad he resigned, because king g8, that will be only move, queen h8 check. If king takes, that should be mate here, but he resigned. Let's play knight c6, then e6, right? b5 can be moved. Yeah, bishop b3 will be okay. Knight f6, because after that I can even activate my bishop here. Knight a7 just will block it. So, but after 97, maybe f5 would be possible. But I don't want to bring all these pawns forward because now my queenside pawns is forward now. Knight d4, and that c file will be opened for me, right? But bishop is protected there, so I can try to bring it forward. And let's first just defend this b5 pawn and then do that. You know there isn't threat, so not sure, maybe we need to attack on it. Now let's play e4 to also defend this pawn. And now after that, knight f3 just won't block this bishop. Wait, that's protected the pawn. That will be protected anyway. And because his knight is active here, okay, that's one more attack, knight f3. I will just plunder this pawn, that's why we need to just defend. And just think about attacks. f3, right? Because I'm creating this good pawn chain, but only thing that I don't like, that's also blocking this bishop, but I will try to activate it with another way. So let's protect and take, right? If we trade, that should be pinned, but d4 will be hanged. If there was one protector on it, that should be okay, and let's see what move he saw, because that's all pinned and I can take, but he's gonna lose the figure, right? Because I took that. That's moved really well, but now that I can get something here, I'm also kicking the bishop, and my bishop was blockaded with my own pawns. So because now that's not, let's castle and play f4, right? But bishop a3 first, because that's preventing him from castle. So now I can castle and play f4, right? Okay, he's trying to open position, yes? Not a problem, just I will castle, bishop b6 can prevent from castle. Okay, very nice vision. Okay, let's take, I could even take with a king, but he didn't solve that. I think he was doing for this king f8, I will take with a bishop, and that should be okay, right? Okay, and the bishop is hanged. And the pawn is hanged. Rook a8, and I will castle, right? But also b6 can be a move, you know? He has to bring b6. Okay, he isn't doing that. And he would win something from there. Knight d7 can be moved on d5, right, or e6. Let's just trade. Then e5, right? Everything is protected here. So if he moves back, just I will attack on it. And then I will try to castle. Okay, he's trying to mate, yes. So let's defend that with a queen, and knight f6, just his queen needs to go from there. Okay, now I can do this, right? If he takes, just I will take with another knight, and that's still okay. Okay, his queen was hanging. Let's offer him draw. That's not a way I'm just trying to win. Okay, let's play these central pawns, and also if we take, I will go c5, and that should be okay. And let's trade the queens, because now he can't castle there. Well, I don't need to take, because his bishop will be very active here. I will help him bishop to go forward. Okay, he's not taking, so let's take, and he will play 2 moves with his bishop. And if you can make that your opponent play 2 moves in opening, that should be really good position for you, because in this opening you don't need to play 2 moves in the same figure. That's a pip, but I can't use that, right? Knight d5 can be moved, but g5, and yes, that will be okay, you know. If he takes, I need to take with the bishop first, because if I take the queen, he will take this pawn on h2 with a check, and he will be up a pawn. Okay, he could take that, because that bishop cannot drop anyway. I will just will take a pawn there. e5, takes, knight here. Okay, fork. Right, he's trying to fork. Also, let's defend it. Rook d1, let's get out of from the fork, but I would lose a pawn anyway. So let's just defend this. Let's go forward, because if he moves the knight, then I can take that pawn. Okay, very good. Now the knight isn't guarding that pawn on g4. So that's other attack, and the only move that protecting the knight is knight g7. And that time I will fork these pawns, and I'm gonna win there, but there can be trap. You know? Okay, I was thinking about that. When I take this pawn on a7, my knight can't go back. So that's a really good way to play knight d6, because this pawn on c7 isn't guarding that square, so that probably can be really good. The only way to protect that pawn is rook a7, but now I take a pawn, and now his queenside pawns is isolated, and that's very easy to take. Okay, that's why he resigned. Let's play rematch with him. Okay, let's wait for a new challenge and play. I think he's not gonna accept. Yes, that's all. Let's play another game here. Okay, send me challenge. Let's continue to play. We will try Scandinavian defense. Let's try to play it, why not? I love Scandinavian defense because you are bringing your queenside figures so fast, and long castle, and also the rook is active, and that's also very tricky. So let's try to play that. And after knight c3, I don't even need to go back, just queen a5. And the idea is to bring queenside pieces forward, and also that can be 10th move path. But that's not a problem that you are not getting first attack in this king side. Well, and now that's the idea. Maybe in the future I will try to play e5 somehow. That's now I can't because my king in the middle, and also I would lose that pawn. So let's castle and also try to take this pawn on d4, because now my pieces is defending that very well, and I will say this c6 is a really good move for bring your queen back. Because if you tap somehow, maybe it can trap your queen. That's why c6, and then you can't go back, right? Wow, and now why that's so important. Knight d5 is a move, and if he takes, just that should be okay, right? I will open this position, queen c7, because with b6, like, I can't do something here that will push this pawn, but after bishop e3, that will guard so many pieces, so my queen will be just blocked. It just can't do anything here. Okay, after this trade, that e5 will be open for me. And also, that's a little bit hard for him to attack on here when this pawn was e6, but now my position is open too. Let's offer him my bishop, because if we take, h5 will be open and h2 will be hang. He has to protect that. Okay, he took that, and bishop d6, right? Let's see how we can get advantage from here. Okay, I don't have to take. Let's just bring this. He takes, pawn take, right? If you have a white square bishop on this position, you don't have to open these white squares, which can create really huge attack from your opponent. And now, because I will try to kick the knight on c3, and even I will wait until he will bring this another way to get these white squares, and if I get out my queen from h3, that should be mate threat. But now let's first to bulldoze his king side. I'm trying to take these pawns, and even I will try to sacrifice material there, I'm not sure. Okay, let's do that. Let's sacrifice the rook, because he can take, but that will be a down exchange, but I am winning his two kingside pawns, which is protected all the time from my attacks. Okay, if I take this pawn, he has to take because he will be down the rook, and h2 will be hang. King g1 will lose immediately. King e3, I'm not sure. If I take this pawn, he can defend from my pawn right, so let's force him to take, and then this is hanging. How I said king g1 will lose immediately, because after queen g4 and king f1, queen g2 will be made, but let's offer him a draw because I want to get him a higher rating. I promised that. Okay, and how he said in the chats, that's his last game. Okay, send me challenge if you want to play, if not, I will start a new game. Okay, let's play e4 here. Also, I will try Vienna Gambit. Let's see, can I trick him in this variation or not. That's not really a nice move when you are taking side pawns, because now I have this really good center, and also this f-file is open for me. So I will try to force him to take. Okay, let's take with the rook to not blunder this pawn on d4. And h4 can be a move if it takes. His also f6 pawn will be very weak. So let's try to do that, why not? Let's take with the rook because that's attacking two of these pawns. Okay, he defends it very nice. Let's bring it back. And also our attack isn't over yet. Let's bring this and then the knight, right? This e4 is hanging, but if he takes, f6 will be hanging. He has to take because that will be fork. And after he will lose his third square bishop, which is protecting all that squares that I am trying to attack on it. I will create huge attack. And also this c7 was hanging, but I was trying to mate him. And let's sacrifice the rook, because if he takes, that's a fork, right? And then queen is hanging. Can I create some mate threat here or not? Let's check. This is only move. Okay, that can happen, but I think that's a final blunder. Because now my bishop is active here, I will bring it, and queen f1 check, right? b5 can be moved after that. a4, that's pawn gonna lose, and that's activating another piece from a1, the rook. And if he tries to even run, he can go very back, because my bishop was also attacking and preventing from escape. Okay, very well played. Let's play another game. We can try to mate f6. Just development here. Somehow you need to play simple. Just d6, you will block your bishop. That's why you need to bring the bishop first and then other pieces. c5, and I'm attacking the bishop with tempo. Just trade and you are getting some active position. That's the rule that you can remember. Okay, and now I will bring my knight on c6, but he will go a4 and b5 and kick the knight from here. But when I got this knight here, the only way that I'm going forward, that's e5, right? Because I'm overprotecting that square, so he can't do anything here. b6 can be moved, right, to kick his knight from here, but because he went there, maybe he's forcing to go b6 and knight jump on c6, right? I'm not sure that's gonna work because his knight will be trapped after that. I think he's just losing a move here because knight b3. Okay, he lost a move there. Don't lose tempo. I will try to trade here. Maybe with a pawn and let's kick the knight. That also will create a tag on it. I'm not sure, but I don't wanna see him in that d-file. So this pawn is a little bit weak, so let's fix it. Is this a move? Because if he attacks somehow, I have squares where I can jump right. Okay, let's save my bishop. There isn't threat, right?
Scarlet. Anton Kashi. Nane.
Шахмат это что? Шахмат.
Eteniz böyle de oynatayım. Ay. Aydın
Okay, sorry, let's continue. Okay, my time runs off, right? I'm not playing home, and that's like kindergarten. Okay, let's play. Like, we can play e6 first, c5 and then d5. I will block with d6. Very much players playing like that. Then I can take, right? If I take, I will help his bishop in active square. So still, let's not do that. Bishop b7 can be moved because that's still protected, right? Okay, he can take the pawn, but let's be careful about that. Maybe in the future he can. Let's bring the bishop on d6, but before that I need to kick the bishop on g5, maybe force him to take. But if he takes, also this d4 pawn will be hang for him. So that's okay, right? Let's attack on it. I don't know why he's trying to bring the knights on b5. Ah, okay, that's a fork. But still he's trying to do something here, but what's the idea? He's trying to trap my queen, but is that gonna happen? Queen d8, bishop c7, right? Let's see if we can see it. Okay, he missed that. Bishop c7, and that will just trap my queen. Okay, let's get some trade here. Also, his figures was too active because that's a little bit trouble for me. He's sacrificing the rook to take the figure, right? Yeah, that's the right move because now he has he is up a figure. Let's try to trade the bishops because that figure's doing great job here. Also, my bishop was under attack. That was hard to play, right? So let's start new game. I don't wanna see that position anymore. Vienna gambit, right? Let's play it. Also, we don't have to take because the knight will be active position on e5. And let's pressure this pawn on f7 because we are playing very slow development. Will you play with me after this? Okay, bro, find me on chess.com, and before that I will finish this, right? Let's trade here. Can I sacrifice and play queen h3 or not? Queen h5. Okay, I can't get it back if I has one attacker on it. I could that time. Okay, not a problem. That's a really good position for me somehow, but how can I get some advantage? Because his white squares are very weak, I will try to attack on it, and also that will be fork, you know? Okay, he probably missed this. And after trade, his queen is in this active square. Let's jump here, and if he moves his knight, somehow, I don't know. This f7 would be some mate threats. Let's bring this in open file and maybe prevent him from castling. h4. That's not give me something. And also I want to bring this knight into the game on c3. But how can I do that? Because all my pieces are active here, but I can still win this. So that's the least active piece I would like to bring, because these four figures are defending his position very good. Okay, that's also a move. But his position is in trouble, you know? Just knight f5, that will be so much powerful than the rook on f1. That's also protecting this pawn on e4, which he was trying to take. Knight d6 he has to take, because if not, that will be open check. Let's do that, right? Well, and how can we respond? he took the pawn, but if I take this, is it gonna work or not? I think that should be a mistake, because the bishop on e3 will be under attack. And the difference is that now we can take, because we are taking with the check, and we will have enough time to defend that. But also this bishop is hanging to on c4. Okay, I think that's final mistake. I am taking his queen like this, and the rook. Okay, that's very good position I won. In 5 moves. He's still not resigning, but because he has so much pawns here can't be stalemate. Okay, and that's mate. Okay, FG 49, send me challenge. I don't remember what's your ID, so send me challenge, okay? Are you sending? Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, send me challenge and start play. FG, let's play one more game and I will wait until you will send me challenge, okay? Just he is my followers too, I want to play with him too. I think you understand. That could even connection lost, because you didn't send me challenge. But I think that should be some miss, yes? Disconnection or something. Okay, that's okay, I will wait. When you be ready, send me challenge and let's play. This is a move to try to get this file. Put some pressure and then bring my rook. Create some attacking ideas here. Also rook b8 won't be a mistake, because even rook b4 can I play and bring this on 4th rank, which will be a really nice idea, I believe. Well, let's attack on this. And now I will trade and knight g4 can be a move. Okay, let's take and then we are up upon here. And then knight g4 or bishop g4, I'm not sure. After this trade, knight g4, I will try to mate him on h2, but bishop f4, and at that time I have to go back. Let's take anyway and let's see. He's trying to trade. I don't wanna take, but if queen h5, queen can go c7 and try to take these pawns. So maybe that's why I have to take. But also his rook will be a little bit active. Knight e4, I will try it, and he will have isolated pawn over here. Okay, let's take, because I'm taking 2 pieces and he's the rook, and now my position is a little bit good than him. Okay, let's take that. And also he can check that I bring my knight back or not, because this a7 will be hanged. I think that will be hang anyway, because even knight e8, I can protect that pawn somehow, but the difference is that now my king is in the middle, which is very nice in the endgame. You need to activate your king all the times. Okay, now I have great attacking ideas on it, and he can't protect it somehow, you know? So we have enough time to take. Let's go forward. We don't have to take protect that light. Okay, c4, and if he tries to check and prevent me from making a new queen, I will block him with my bishop like this. Then also I has a knight which I can bring. That's will be only right if you bring all your pieces into the game. Mr. Fork, where? There isn't any fork idea. Ah, here. Ah, okay, you are right. Okay, just because my position is a winning here, I'm not following like the take rook or something. I'm just seeing that winning idea which I'm going for. Okay, Fiji, send me challenge. I think your username is ThereWolf. Yes, is it you? I think I found you, right? Okay, I'm sending you a challenge, Fiji. Okay, sorry, I just don't know your name. Let's wait until he will accept and play. Ah, okay, here you. Let's try Scandinavian defense this time. bishop d3 isn't great move because that's blocking the pawn on d2, which can go forward. It, I mean, can go forward, but you need to waste a move to go back or trade. I'm not sure what you can do, but you need to move that and play 2 or 3 moves with that, and take will be mistake. Okay, he took, and that's mistake. Because now I have really huge attack on this h5, and how he can protect queen g2, king h2. I will check with a queen. Okay, not now because that squares are defended, but I will go forward. And is this okay or not? Maybe I need not to be fast here. Just let's push this pawn forward and then bring the bishop. Okay, because he goes back, e4 is free. I just played e5 and wait until he will do something like that, and e4 works here, right? Because that's kicking his bishop, and then I can go forward for giving his pieces attack on it. Now my knight on f3 is really nice protected, and also can be huge threat from it. Let's sacrifice the knight here, because if he takes, that will be check, and here and mate, right? Yes, that will be mate. But if he takes the knight on f3 first, is that okay? Okay, that's with a check, he has to take with a queen. Let's bring this back. Okay, now because that position is secure, if I trade the queens, that can't be nice for me because my queen can attack on his position and make some trouble. But if the queen were traded, just that will be very easy for him to defend. So let's not do that. Let's kick his queen, not to trade. And what's a move that I can play here? I would like to bring the rook into the game, but how? Maybe rook f6 can be huge threat on it, right? Because rook f6, f3 will be defended, and I will use that advantage to bring the knight, or even the rook can jump on f3 and attack on that pawn on h3, yes. And now that's a little bit bad for me, because if I bring my bishop back to safety, knight will be hanged. So what should I do here? Not sure, let's take this anyway. Okay, he took with a queen. Let's bring it here to also defend the knight, yes? He's trying to attack, but he's giving me some good squares for jump. Oh no, oh we can't check, right? That should be mistake or not. Let's bring this queen on f5 because this pawn is under attack. Okay, am I in trouble? I will sacrifice the rook on d5, because if he takes h3 will be unprotected, and that will be made. But now he's offering queen trade. Let's go back, because I'm forcing his queen to defend this h3 pawn, which I'm trying to use as I will take this anytime. Okay, now that's all protected. He's playing really good in this position. f5, yes. I'm trying to push that pawn and get some advantage. Also, this d5 will be hang. d4. Let's see how he can respond this move. Now I can go rook g4, because if he takes with a pawn, his rook will be hang. If he takes with a queen, he will lose that. Very good mate, he played really good in this position. Just one miscalculate, or even just he can bring his king on f1 and that should be okay, yes? Okay, let's bring our pieces into the game. Castle, right? Castle, and then I can take this pawn on a5. Okay, we can even take with a pawn, because that will be another open file from me, and I can use it because his king side is closed. He need to bring his king on queen side as soon as possible, because if I open this position, that will be hard thing for him to play. He have to take my knight first. Okay, I can't take, right? Okay, bro. Albert? A, Michelsy. Jakiś też ważabec. Let's get this trade here. That was the king, so I can take, let's simplify this position. I know. Let's take this. If he takes with a queen, I will fork that, and also c7 will be under attack. Well, let's do that. That will be fork, but also I will try to go h3, but he can take. But that should be good idea if I force him to take, because I will get out from that pin. d4, right? d4 that will be active for my bishop, and he can't take. If my knight was not in b5 at that time, he can take, right? Because that would be pinned there. Great move here. his rook will be active, but I don't think that's gonna work. I will check him from a8, or even let's try to trick him. Bishop f4 check if bishop d6, or even king c8. Queen a8 can work here, right? After this, rook back, check takes, maybe sacrifice there, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's check. Rook d8, just... That should be winning for me, but I don't understand how. Okay, the good thing is that now I get out from this pin. And now let's be sure that our time isn't getting low, because now I have only 1 minute here. This can be a move. Knight e5, I will happy to trade the knights here, because his knight is doing a great job. That's very good productively figure, and then I will take with a queen. I was worried about bishop d6, that will don't let me go, but that's also very good protected. So I will try to mate him. Maybe he thinks that the only move that he can protect, but also I think rook d7 could be moved, right? Okay, now he is rook down, and that should be winning for me. Okay, but what if rook d7 in this position? Ah, okay, queen b8 mate. That's also a mate idea. Let's play bishop c5, because bishop e5, f6 can be moved, and that's forcing me to go back. That pawn will gonna drop anyway, because that's winning for me. Okay, he wants rematch, let's play with him one more game. And that's time we can play Sicilian defense, why not? Knight f6, if he tries to kick the knight, just d5 is a only move. Because anyway, if I will have to go back, because there isn't any good move that I could defend that. That's a little bit aggressive, because if he takes the knight, he will take another figure from there, and then the pawn, right? Your bishop will be active, but also kingside pawns could be a little bit weak that time. Let's wait until he will take, or if it's not, I will force him to take, because if not, e5 will be hang after that. The position d4 could be moved, but that's also not a mistake. Just he needs to defend that. Bishop f4 is also defending move. And what if try to go bishop g7? Try to take that pawn. Okay, and bishop g7, my attack will be over after that. So I don't think I need to do that, because my bishop would be very disactive in that square. My kingside isn't very good developed. I will say all my figures can do great job in queenside. So let's try to attack on queenside here. c4 and take, right? He is also overprotecting this central squares. Եղավ ախպերեսը հաղթենք. and take, let's go this pawn forward, rook b8 is a move. And then b3, right? This a5 will be open, so let's be sure he can't take something from here. b3, and this should be okay, right? He still can't create some attacks on this position, on this side of the board. Let's get these traits. And he's 1600 rated player, 1600, but he's playing very good. I'm a little bit nervous also, just I can't win all these games which I'm playing with him. c3 can be moved, and that will be really good pawn structure, but also this queen side will be little big because he will have some weaknesses there. Okay, which he plays. Let's go a5. That's also, I can bring this somehow forward, and if it's not, I will try to rook b6, and the idea will be that my bishop will be in active square there. Let's kick the knight because that can make some trouble here. But I will try to bring my bishop on a6. Because that's this active square, that's c8. And that's a square weaknesses that I will try to use that. Maybe now I can't because I would like to bring my bishop on d3 and c2. Not a huge problem. Just let's create all this very nice defensive wall. Okay, that was hang. But now that file is open, I will try to attack because I need to be fast. Because he can try to do in my king state, and also his figures is very active. I'm a little bit worried about that he will try to sacrifice the knight and take some advantage on it. Okay, sniper rook. After this game I will play with you too. Okay? And now let's get this a file. Okay, we get this, and now let's try to take the pawns from here. The only good move, I think, queen d1, because that's not losing a pawn here. Okay, he's doing that, but that's a fork, right? That's a really good move. I think you understand this, because now he is losing the knight. But the trick is that if I take the knight, rook a1, I will trap my queen. But if he takes, I think I will make new one from here. But still I'm not sure. Rook a1, I will play rook a6. He probably missed that. I will like to play bishop a5 because that will be really nice placed. But we need to get some time here. If he takes, just now we have enough time to go back. Or even we don't need to go back. Let's protect with rook a6. He can't go here anyway. And at that time I will try to bring my knight on active square here. I will try to use that somehow. But what can I do here? Okay, because that's closed, And his time also running. He should lose this, right? Okay, he played very well, but because little bit of time and down a piece, he lost. Okay, Sniper Rook Chess, send me challenge and let's play. Where is your ID? Okay, I will wait for your challenge. I'll bet Pro I. Sniper Rook, are you sending me challenge or not? Okay, let's start to play. D5 can be moved to get some simple development here. Let's trade and my bishop is open now. So let's activate and play d6, right? Okay, I tricked. Check, he will take that, right? Okay, no problem, let's just defend that. He can also take or use this pin somehow one more time. But his position is a little bit deceptive because he played the moves to try to take something and he actually did. But his position is a little bit closed, so if I be enough fast, I will take some advantage from it. Just now my rooks are active too. Is this a move? He can't take. If he takes, I will take with a knight. My knight will be very good placed on a4. He can't also kick the knight somehow. I will bring the knight, the other knight on this queen side. That should be work for really nice in that position. Okay, he's not trading, but now my queen is really active than him. This can be a move, right? And in the position h6 to kick his bishop. The what? Okay, I missed the rook. Okay, so bad. I thought when my queen is here, that can't be any threat. Okay, really bad. Just we need to be a little bit careful. I thought about attack, not defense. That's why that happens. Okay, no problem. My knight isn't doing anything here, so let's try to attack on king side, yes? Because my other knight can jump even there, and then I can bring the rook. That's about fast attack, what I say. And he can't bring his pieces over there. He needs to get some trade here. Just if he gets some trades and reach endgame, that will be very bad for me because I'm down exchange now. Okay, if he moves the knight, I will bring my queen other square for defend that. I don't need to trade. This should be work, right? Okay, I upload some shorts in last days. I think not today, but yesterday and last day. But they are gaining more than 1,000, not 2,000 viewers. I think that's not very good, right? But I am uploading almost every day. Is that results okay or not? Just I don't know. Because if I did some edits, that gains also 30,000 if I'm not mistaken, and even more viewers at the time. But because that's I'm spending so much time on it, I prefer to do streams than spend so much time as shorts, because when I am spending 4 or 5 hours a day for doing the shorts, some edits also gaining, I would say, 2,000 viewers, which I don't think that should be okay. Just you can upload very good video and then very bad video can have very much viewers, and the very good video can have very low viewers. That's why I don't like this, because I don't understand why that's happening like that. That's the problem. I just yesterday I uploaded a short when I'm sacrificing 2 rooks. Did you see that or not? Let's sacrifice the knight to open this position, because we can't attack on it somehow other way. But that's also very closed, so I don't know. Because I sacrificed down of the rook, so what should I do here? Let's go forward and not get back rank checkmate here. Okay, he's still trying to trade, but am I forced or not? Because the rook will be under attack if I try to do some else move. That should be a mistake, you know? Queen f3, and I will go back. Because I'm down a rook, I don't wanna trade. But how can I beat this pawn structure? Okay, my queen is trapped. Queen h5 can be moved, but that will be trade, so let's resign this game. Oh, let's very much with him. Just one mistake and that's game drop, yes? Okay. Okay, bro, you won. Very well played, I will say. Well, bro, you played very good. Who wants to play? Send me challenges, I'm ready to play. Okay, see how can one move, just drop all the games away. Okay, let's play. I will try to win him at this time. Not let him to win. Why not? e6, right? Okay, e5 can make some trouble here. That should be pinned, so now let's bring this bishop on e7. I could take, yes, but now this knight is protecting the bishop. I'm not even thinking about that. That's still okay, yes? Let's castle and play aggressive because I'm a little bit nervous how I could play so bad. I also played so bad when I started this stream. I don't know why just happening. e5 can be moved, right? If I bring my knight on d5, h7 will be hang. Okay, he's seeing all that threats. Let's take the bishop, right? Okay, let's do that. He needs to go back his bishop because g3, I will just block it. They can't get out of there, from there. I will try to take with c-pawn because now I will say this open for me. Okay, what if we bring the rook? Let's get this c file. This should be the right idea. And if that b3 won't work, I will bring my knight on c4 there. If you don't bring the rook, I will bring another rook on c8. That should be okay. I don't want him to get that c file. Oh, he can also create some attacking threats here. Just knight back and okay, h3. And now he can't bring his knight on his rook on h3, which I'm happy to see because that's creating his position is a little bit slow. He needs to do this probably. And okay, you are right. India, right? You are telling about Indian time. Okay, and I can't even not to trade. How can I activate the knight? I think the only way that I can activate that's g6 and then f4. I will have these very good squares that Ivan will attack on his queen if that keep on it on that d2 square, but anyway I will try to do that. This is the idea, and I don't think we can do anything in this c file because that 7 occupy from us. Okay, let's think about this. He has queen h5 and king g8, check here, and he has to go back because his queen will be under attack, so that's still okay for us. Let's take with a queen, so his pawn and rook is under attack. Rook d1 can play. Okay, he took that path. His knight and rook is under attack. He played 2 games with me, and that's the only mistake he did. Let's bring this rook on c1. Yes, now he can't check, right? And because I have this check, I will try to bring this queen in position like that. That should be okay, because after that he will try to trade the queens, because he will be made if not do that. I think that queen h7 check, king h7, right? And he will bring his knight on e8. Just, we have 2 moves for played. I think we should win that position before he will just play knight a8. Knight a8, and that should be made. If not, king g4. Okay, I will force him to trade, and that should be okay. That was hanging too. g4. Okay, the knight is also hanging. And the queen is also hanging. And that's made. Okay, bro, you played very well. But I'm a little bit in a hurry. So let's finish this stream. Probably I will see you tomorrow. Okay, let's play last game, because I played only 1 game with Albert Pro. So let's play with him one last match, and that should be all. Okay, that's my first game in this stream. Okay, bye bro. And I'm going because I don't have enough time. I like his writing. Okay, mine or Albert Pro? Albert Pro rating is a very good if I compare with my another follower. I just don't want to say his name. He has only 100 rating, only 100, and he can't have some more high rated than 100. And when I'm playing with him, he's always 100. He can't grow even 100 on 110. Okay, see, he missed this fork, but he's playing actually very well as 200 rated player. Okay, and that's also trade. My FIDE rating. I am playing a little bit more than 1 year chess, like I used to play when I was 12 years old, and I played 2 or 3 tournaments, and still I haven't FIDE rating, but if I have, that should be almost 2000 rated, and I am okay. I'm thinking about that. I will be almost 2000. Okay, that's under attack, but let's see if he can see that mate or not. Just if he protects it somehow. Okay, h3 will be a really good move, because if he plays that, a7 will be under attack. But now if it's not, I am trying to take these pawns and win this game. Okay, now rook a8 won't work, or even rook a7, because I will take this pawn, and that should be GG. Okay, let's push that forward, and that's winning for me, right? His rook can protect that somehow. And in the end I will check, bring my rook here, because my knight would defend that square. I don't have even to take that. What if rook b1? Only 2 years? Only 2 years. Okay, really good, I would say. I started to play when I was 7 years old. Okay, you are only 20. You are 12. You are playing but really well, you know? I like your chess style. That's really good that you are understanding chess. Age of 17. Okay, a little bit. Little bit late, but nothing. Okay, I think you saw. I'm not saying about that. I think you didn't saw that. Don't say about that anyone, please. 2000 in 2 years. Yes, that also can happen. When I played, when I was... How you take 7 years? I used to play chess when I was 12, and 4 or 5 years I didn't play it, and I not started playing chess on 17. I continued to play in 17 years old. So that's why I am counting that I playing chess. I will say how many years? Let's count. Because now I'm 19. Three and 8 years, I will say, right? I'm playing 8 years. Okay. I got my first smartphone when I was 15. Sure. But all these kids, the new generation, only has they are 2 years old, 3 years old, and they has a phone. That's a little bit bad, I think, because they are not understanding the bad way from that pawn, right? And they are trying to use all that time, and even some parents that just didn't very much care about that. And in future, that's very hard to create some relationship at the age, even when they are getting adults, and they are also disturbing for his jobs and some other. Okay, but sure, I will end after this game, and that's made. G6 can be a move. Can I try? Let's get this c4 and then this pawn will be hang. Queen f6. Okay, I could even try that when I traded my bishops there. I could not to trade and try to get some advantage from here, but that should be a little bit hard because also he had dark square bishop. Why sacrificed? Okay, that's it can't work when dark color bishop, pro or queen in same color. Okay, that's actually could be in that position, but that's not bad at all, you know. I was winning in after, not completely winning, but also this position is a really good for me because I didn't even try to mate, but I don't risk that all because somehow if I couldn't, I would lose that. But in this position, before queen sacrifice, that's all. If we take pawn, sack queen. Okay, let's do that. He's winning the queen, but that can't be good because he's down a rook and there is no way he will just make a draw here. Okay, he aborted the game, right? Okay, and let's end this stream. After this, be sure you subscribe my channel and you won't let my streams go without you. Okay, sorry for that sounds if you are hearing it. I'm not at home. Let's get some advantage from it. Okay, I have rook which will help me to win this game. Okay, make a queen if you want. I will take and that should be all. Okay, bishop. That's a fork, but I get out of it. Let's get this rook here and now, because if b7 he could run like this. Let's see if it can work or not. Okay, not yet. Okay, that should be made. Let's see if it's gonna be made or not. Don't resign, please. Maybe it can be draw like the last game which we played. Okay, I like these pre-moves. That's made, right? Okay, really good pre-moves, I will say. I also don't lose. Okay, now let's end this stream. I will see you tomorrow. Stay with my channel. And goodbye. You played very well. I thought it's mate and he made queen. Okay, but he hasn't other figures to make a queen, so I would happy for that. Okay, let's end this stream. Goodbye. Thank you for supporting my channel.